everyone, and welcome to the Weekly Buffer, a 15-minute exploration of science and technology that allows you to sound smarter at the water cooler. Welcome. So this is episode 2, guys. How you feeling?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
I think we got some good stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
today.
pretty good.
Absolutely.
This is my first time, so episode 2. I know you guys broke the ice there with episode 1, so I'm ready to dive in and talk about some cool stuff. Some cool stuff you can talk about.
This is Adam, by the way.
How's it going? Yeah, no, I'm really excited to talk about some interesting stuff. I know you guys are touching on what you guys are going to talk about, so yeah, it'll be really good.
Well, Adam, so you were talking about the Adobe Max. What is Adobe Max?
So Adobe Max was this conference. Actually, it was held last year. It's an annual conference that Adobe holds. I'm pretty sure you guys are probably more familiar, but the people that aren't familiar, it's the creative suite that kind of made Photoshop. They did Acrobat, like the PDF readers. They have Premiere Pro video editors. They have Illustrator for designers. So it was kind of like a big expo for creatives, pretty much. That's probably the best way I could explain it. So the best of the best creative minds. They had Ron Howard, director, famous director, Academy Award winner. He was there, did a kind of talk on that. They had some cool little features and sneak peeks of what's coming out next year, and even annually Adobe kind of releases their new updates and every little thing, just like any kind of phone update or any kind of update. It's just some kind of new features, problems they're fixing, bugs, kind of new things they're automating and stuff like that. So yeah, it was really cool. I obviously didn't get a chance to go, but just they stream it online, really cool. So yeah, some of the really cool stuff they're launching, a lot of cool, just talking about the creativity and tech, putting that together and just trying to figure out obviously it's been around for a couple decades now, but Photoshop and how it's integrated into the iPad now. People could take it to go before having the full platform, able to take it to go. I was kind of in my head while I was watching this is thinking in the past, what was one of the things that really made even painters in the Renaissance, maybe when paints can actually be portable and be able to you could go take it to the park and stuff like that. I'm trying to kind of parallel it with that, almost being able to go, and now we can record videos, high resolution 4K videos on our phone. And they were talking about apps. I actually just downloaded one, Adobe Rush. So it's an editing platform. So for people that are on the go, they're at a concert, they're at a party, a lot of people who are in social media and they just need this on the go, stuff like that. So it was really cool. They're touching on a lot of stuff.
Have you explored that app yet?
I had one of theirs last year. They released one, and I kind of messed with it a little bit. And I'm still more editing, as a creative editor. I kind of like being on the desktop, but times are changing. I see myself recording more on my phone. So they obviously too, they were touching on the way automating and just making stuff easier, just kind of just streamlining things. So as someone who's on social media a lot too, the way I have to post, cross-posting things. You see Instagram too, you can click a button and it'll automatically post to other areas too. So in this editing software, there's stuff where you don't even have to go to Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. You could do it straight from the software.
Wow.
In here. Another cool thing they were touching on, which is really big now, which is AI, artificial intelligence and voice commands. So people who are using voice and they have an app called XD, which is short for experience design. So the designers can go in and create an experience. They're making apps and stuff like that. So nowadays for companies that are really focused on branding and the experience of jumping on the website, or how does the app make you feel when you're going through it, so that's really one of their big focuses. But now since voice is in there, it's kind of they're stepping back and letting the creators kind of even prototype some of the stuff. So in your Mac or in your phone, you have some of these voice enabled stuff. So you can kind of test it out and use your voice, make a quick prototype sample and talk to your own creation and see how it tests out, or maybe give it to your friend and test it out and kind of prototype this stuff. It's really cool. They were I was just sitting back mind blown on some of this crazy stuff. It's really cool. Creatives, I think, really need this stuff now with these new mediums like voice. They touch on AR, which AR, obviously, you guys kind of know a little bit about artificial.
I know what Pokemon Go is not really AR.
Like VR.
Well, no, it is.
No, and that's
I'd heard
one
that
of
it's like semi AR.
I think it counts.
that's one of the things that really kind of broke the ice on AR and kind
Making it
of made
accessible.
people. Yeah, so it's kind of Pokemon Go, but like think about it for like as like a retailer or something like that going on tour to like Disney World, and you can walk around and things will pop
It'll
up,
tell
like
you
having you that
things.
interface,
Sure.
so you can go around and it'll have small details, or like Adidas was there working with Adobe, and they actually had like a presentation where they showed like a couple versions of shoes, and you can like walk in, and if you have your phone or iPad, which they kind of just had kind of right there on the stand of the display, but they clicked it and it kind of broke the shoe apart like three-dimensionally, and
Cool.
it kind of like even had little details like outer layer bottom, hard inner sole, like kind of like broke it down. So like just thinking about the experiences that we're gonna have in the future and the way that they're making it easy for the creators to make those experiences, it's really cool. It's like super mind blowing. Like just they were taking like actual just 2D shapes that they made like a flat image in Photoshop, and you can easily throw it into this design app. This actually it's called Aero. AERO, which is a new show. If you're looking at for Adobe, look up AERO. It's going to be the new like AR app, kind of like
Interesting.
a Photoshop for AR. So yeah, I mean, touching on that, it's just really crazy stuff. They're making real easier for creatives. Not just these new things, but just even the old platforms. They're making a lot of things easier, like Photoshop, just masking and like things that would just take so long, tedious things like masking somebody out. You can just one click selecting a subject, or going through like for photographers that need to like organize a whole day's worth of projects. Like you can literally, instead of going in time and logging all this stuff, they're just making it really automated and easy for like their AI is just getting really more enhanced. So it's really cool. It's really cool.
Well, that shoe thing, it makes me want to see that done to the human body. Like if you look at somebody's body and it just blows up and it shows you all the pieces.
They were touching on that too, because like for teachers, this is going to be amazing. Like think about when you would make like a textbook, and creative minds would come together, and thinkers would come and make a textbook and put these images together for platforms and curriculums, and
super cool.
But think about what they could be doing, for like something like anatomy or something like that. And the kids nowadays could learn so much better. Like I mean, I learned visually as a kid. I know like I myself like to get in and doing interactive stuff like that too. So I think the potential is still like, I think we're really tipping the iceberg of this like intelligent stuff we're touching on. It's really cool.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's super cool. And speaking of making things easier, the first quantum computer chip was developed. What does that mean?
Quantum. It's like just developed like recently in the past.
Yeah. This just happened. So
I'm just gonna sit here and nod my head.
Yeah,
cool.
Yes.
Dr. Robert Koenig, a professor at the Technological University in Munich, developed a quantum computer. So up until now, this has just been a theory. Right, and the whole idea is that quantum computers are going to be much faster than conventional computers, because conventional computer chips, when you think about them, you think about we have gigabits or gigabytes and megabytes and all this. Well, a bit is a very small microscopic point on a chip that holds a charge, and that charge allows a computer to say, oh, that's a 1 or a 0. Right?
Correct.
So that's computer language, binary. And what happens with a conventional computer is that it goes through very quickly, but it goes through a series of these when it's computing. Yeah. Right? So it has to go one by one in a sequence each time. Well, quantum mechanics, quantum theory says that electrons can be in multiple places at once. Right? Okay. So this has been tested with I think is called the slot experiment. Different things like that. Look it up.
Interesting.
But the whole idea is that instead of having to go in a sequence one by one, you could have a computer that computes all of them at one time. Right. So say you have 10 pieces in a sequence, then you could theoretically do all 10 at one time, and it would be much, much faster.
Automating it, just like we were just talking about, just making things faster, the same amount of things in a faster amount of time, right?
Exactly. And so up until now, the whole idea is, quantum computers are going to make us way faster. It's going to be really cool. Well, it's been done now, and the theory is proven. It's proven on a very basic level, like simple algebra, which would be relatively complex for us or a computer.
Yeah.
But the computer can do these equations that, and because it was developed simply, it can do these equations, and now it can be translated into something that we call quantum algorithms. And a quantum algorithm is essentially a way to solve really complex problems that aren't, at least currently, solvable by computer technology that we have.
So they're creating these algorithms right now for these new computers, and soon we'll have like problems solved that we never even thought about. Like
exactly. So well, I mean, they may have been thought about or not, but it's really, this is taking us to that next level. Not only is it a speed thing, it's also something where. Okay, I was trying to think what are practical applications of this.
Right, yeah.
So online security, right?
Okay.
AI. So we were talking about AI. AI being able to not only compute quickly, but to think a little more like a human brain.
Interesting.
So our brain now, look, just for everybody out there, quantum computers and brains are not the same, right? We don't think in ones and zeros. Quantum computer still does. It just does it very quickly.
Yeah.
But the similarity here is that we are able to access different clusters of neurons at one time to form a thought, right?
Okay.
To have a sense experience and also have a memory and all at the same time, and it kind of shapes how we think about things. Whereas a computer would have to take one by one. A quantum computer can do all that as well. So it's when you're thinking about adding in with AIs the sensory aspects, and then also a memory, and then being able to access the internet. And it's going to be able to run all this very quickly.
Oh, that's so interesting.
And think on the fly, as opposed to sitting there, spinning this the pinwheel of death or whatever.
These ideas that have been like formed like decades ago are like, it feels like surreal. They're finally coming to existence now, like quantum computers, like you said, or like AR technology, stuff like that. It's really like just now seeing the surface, and now people can really, the potential for this stuff is going to be crazy.
It's I mean, other applications, think about like weather forecasting and different things like that. It's just, the sky's the limit.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Right. It's crazy.
Well, you know what those computers can't do?
What's that?
Yeah, what?
They probably can't ensure that your kid is going to be healthy, but you know who can?
Who's that?
You, my friend, can make sure that you will have a healthy child.
I just want to I want to mention that he pointed at the mic. He's talking to you.
Yeah,
the viewers, the
listeners.
Yeah,
the microphone.
The health is in their hands, definitely.
So you're a father. Do you work out?
I do a little bit.
Don't throw him under the bus right away. He was like, okay.
No, I ride my bike to work.
He's health conscious,
a couple times a week.
Yeah. Which I would say that's pretty moderate exercise, relatively.
Sure. Yeah. I'm sweating.
So there you go.
Right now.
Well, it might be kind of an obvious observation that healthy parents create healthy children, because those children are going to adopt healthy lifestyles, diets, and things like that. But there are actually coming out of a study out of the Ohio State University College of Medicine at the Wexner Medical Center. This study found that actually there are things you can do pre-conception that will actually make your child healthier.
Pre-conception, that's crazy to think about. Like before we,
So basically, this study found that, especially when it comes to the father, even a month before conception, so it doesn't even have to be like a lifetime, just like a month of exercise.
There's still hope.
Yeah, there's still hope. Right? He was like, "Was I working out that month?"
Before conception, basically can affect the metabolic makeup of your child. It's actually a quote from one of the authors. I'm just going to read it because it explains it so well. So, even a month or so of moderate exercise before conception can have major benefits to his children's metabolic health. Those benefits include lower body weight, increased insulin sensitivity, and decreased fat mass. So basically, they had at least the way the experiment worked is they had these groups of mice. Some of the mice they gave like lean diets, and some of the mice they gave high fat diets. And then of those two groups, some of them they pretty much did put in a sedentary state, so they couldn't really exercise, and others they let exercise freely.
Okay.
And so basically, the offspring of the males that were able to exercise freely, whether their diet was lean or high fat, basically resulted in healthier baby mice.
Interesting.
Can we back up just a second? How
Yes.
did they mention how they put the mice in sedentary state?
I imagine.
That's
Tie
funny.
them to a tiny mouse lazy boy.
Yeah, glue
little
remote
mice,
control.
little mice Xanax. That's what
Yeah, maybe.
little
I imagine they
sedatives.
probably just take all the like toys and stuff. Like no hamster wheels, no nothing. I don't know.
No sensory, yeah. So kind of
Interesting.
But basically they found that actually, because the opposite is true, that in obesity that actually decreases sperm count and affects like your sexual organs. So they found that the healthier you are, it actually will reconstruct like your RNA in your sperm, which is like basically RNA, if you don't know, is responsible for taking messages from DNA to like the proteins that basically end up building the baby.
yeah.
So it reconstructs the RNA slightly, which benefits so sort of your metabolism.
Interesting.
Yeah.
so
that would mean, I guess that would mean that the translation of your DNA is just better at that point. It's less likely to have mutations
that
and
makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
different things like that. Wow.
The stronger, healthy you are, you're passing it along to. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. So.
Yeah, and so basically, and it's already known that like diet and exercise for pregnant mothers, does have an effect on healthier children.
Now it's getting dropped on the males. Oh.
But
Now
basically,
it's-
sort of the study concluded like the next step is they want to find out like if both the mother and the father are exercising, like do those benefits compound and like create like an even healthier baby. And based like the implications of like this could like have major impacts on like the health of like the next generations. Like if we know that like even just moderate exercise will have these effects, then
Yeah, I imagine they would compound, at least to some degree. But
total sense.
the cool thing here is that it doesn't have to be a lifetime. Now, granted, depending on how you live your life, can change these things like permanently. But really, a month. So
just
a month before.
It sounds like if you're pretty much just like a moderately healthy person. I imagine if you're already, maybe like diabetic or obese, then it might be different. But I imagine if you're an averagely healthy person, and then it's like, if you're having talks with your significant other about conceiving, then maybe just go on a run 3 times a week, and I think the benefits can last a lifetime.
And then you can give up after that.
And then once you have the kid, you can finally embrace that dad bod.
Dad bod.
It's
but not until you have the dad. It's not until you become the dad can you have.
I love how they coined that, the dad bod.
I got to stick up for all the dad bods out there because I am a dad with a dad bod, and it's not necessarily a choice.
It's not a
You're
choice.
stressed out and you don't have a lot of time.
Yeah. That's why you got to
Don't
get your
play the
exercise.
victim. Don't play. No,
So you gotta
real.
get your exercise in before the kid, before the pesky
lifestyle.
kid comes around and takes up all your exercise.
And that's what I was trying to think
that's
about.
it.
You kind of have it's the pre-planned pregnancies because you kind of can't just be like living your lifestyle.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, most times, I mean, who plans those anyways now?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, no, but it's good to have that lifestyle anyway. So knowing that you're healthy, and I mean, obviously, like you said, the mothers have to be healthy. So it's double. Now you kind of have that little rationale of just be healthy too, guys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So.
Well, and that about wraps it up, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for tuning in to the Weekly Buffer this week.
Yep.
As always, you can find us on Apple. As of like a few days ago, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, on Stitcher.
As always for the last 3 days.
Yeah.
Go check
you can find us
episode
on
1.
Google Play.
Mhm.
We're all over our website too, innotechtoday.com. Also, want to do a little plug here.
Yep.
Hey everyone, we just had our latest issue of Innovation Tech Today hit newsstands.
Just
It's got
last week.
just last week. It's
New
got
fall
Olivia
issue.
Munn on the cover. Cover.
Cover.
That's right, on the cover, and it is awesome.
Yeah. Cybersecurity. Olivia Munn talks about The Predator, which is an upcoming film.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah Wood from Lord of the Rings. He has a new video game development company that he talks about. Mind reading technology.
That's right. Fact or fiction.
Yeah.
I really liked the Botnick piece when they touched on some of the artificial,
Yeah.
that was really interesting. But yeah, make sure to check out the new fall issue. If you guys want any comments or anything like that, go ahead and feel free to leave a comment, subscribe. Yeah.
Yeah, and leave us a rating as long as it's 3 stars or more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, feel free to be honest. We're working. This is our second
Sure,
episode,
sure.
so cut us a little break here and there.
All poor ratings can be directly towards Dylan.
But yeah, until next week, guys. I think that was it.
Well,
Awesome. Hey, have a good one.